In the spring of 1818, Warsaw buzzed with whispers of an extraordinary child who had the touch of Mozart, but the soul of Poland. At only 7 years old, Frédéric Chopin was about to make his first public debut. This was no ordinary concert. It was the city's introduction to a boy who would, with each note, become a voice for his homeland. The Chopin family and the small Warsaw community sensed something magical about the day. And as the hall filled with Poland's aristocrats and music lovers, all eyes were set on the small figure about to step onto the stage. Chopin's gift was first discovered in the modest family home. His mother, herself a pianist, had guided his little hands across the keys. By 6, Frédéric was not only playing effortlessly, but also composing pieces that astonished anyone who heard them. Family friends marveled at the child's ability, calling him the Polish Mozart. The nickname soon spread, and the whispers of his talent found their way to Countess Skarbek, one of Warsaw's most esteemed patrons of the arts, who decided that this talent must be shared with the world. She extended an invitation to Frédéric to perform at her upcoming soiree, a night that promised to showcase young Chopin's genius to a captivated audience. For the Chopin family, the invitation was both thrilling and nerve-wracking. Frédéric was a child of delicate health, and the prospect of performing before a large audience was a daunting task. Yet, Chopin himself seemed composed, almost eager to step onto that stage. As he prepared for his debut, his father Nicholas watched with quiet pride, knowing his son's passion for music would not be silenced. Frédéric practiced tirelessly on their modest family piano, perfecting a piece that he would soon play before Warsaw's elite. The hall was filled with nobles, intellectuals, and music aficionados. The grand piano gleamed under the chandeliers as Frédéric, dressed neatly in a dark suit, stepped onto the stage. He looked tiny, his feet barely reaching the pedals. But as he sat at the piano, a hush swept through the room. Then, his fingers began to move over the keys with astonishing fluidity. He played a polonaise. He had composed himself a piece filled with the rhythms and spirit of Poland, stirring emotions in the audience that they could hardly contain. The notes seemed to capture the essence of his homeland, the landscapes, the struggles, the pride, turning the grand room into a reverie of Polish life. Frédéric's hands moved with unexpected precision, his fingers leaping with grace from note to note, each chord ringing with confidence. The crowd was mesmerized. They had come to see a child. They were witnessing an artist. When he struck the final note, the room was silent before erupting into applause, some even rising from their seats. Warsaw had found a new star. As Frédéric bowed, he was quickly surrounded by eager admirers. The Countess herself showered him with praise, while others approached with astonishment, offering their compliments and encouragement. This debut was no fleeting performance. It was a proclamation. News of Chopin's talent spread through Warsaw like wildfire. Invitations began pouring in from nobility and salons across the city, eager to witness the young prodigy who had stolen their hearts. Yet, despite the accolades, Frédéric remained modest. When asked how he felt, he replied shyly, his cheeks flushed with the excitement of a boy who had done something miraculous without fully grasping the impact. His father Nicholas looked on with pride, sensing the beginning of something profound. Frédéric's journey had truly begun, but Warsaw was only the first stop. This debut marked not just a beginning, but a promise. Frédéric's music spoke to the people of Poland with a depth and patriotism that belied his years. His soul seemed connected to his homeland, and in every note, there was a fire, a love for Poland that would carry him through the rest of his life. Even as he traveled far from home, this performance in Warsaw's intimate salon became a pivotal moment, planting the seeds of a career that would see him conquer the music world. Years later, a Chopin enchanted des salons of Paris and beyond. He would look back on that first performance, remembering the awe-filled faces and the warm applause that had embraced him. That day in Warsaw had given him more than applause. It had given him a calling. Each piece he composed was, in some way, an echo of that night, of the promise he made to his homeland and to the world. That night, a legend had been born, and the world would soon come to know his name, Frédéric Chopin.